A federal judge has just denied Diddy's request to delay his trial after new evidence revealing 3 more victims was uncovered. Diddy's family has stopped showing up to his trial, and allegedly Ava Baron Combs, Diddy's adopted stepdaughter, is being subpoenaed to testify in the upcoming trial. Rumors of Ava Baron Combs being a missing child are making rounds on social media, and the story keeps getting wilder. Let's break it down.
My name's Ava. I'm a Scorpio.
No. What's your last name?
Oh, Ava Combs.
What's your other last name?
Ava Baroni.
Ava Baroni Combs? Yes, it's breaking news. Diddy adopted a white child. I want you to tell them the story about how I adopted you. But you still have beautiful parents that, but you're my child also. But please tell the story.
So, I was on the streets, and then Papa Combs decided that he would like to be a caring man. So then he saw me and decided to pick me up and said to come inside and play with his baby.
Hey, what are we doing tonight, baby?
We're making desserts for our bonfire tomorrow.
Okay.
Because, yeah, and like everyone that was invited has to bring something, and then our thing that we had to bring was dessert. And then like everyone else, they bring like food and drinks.
Fans are peeling back the layers of Diddy's relationship with Ava Baron Combs, and it's shocking. In 2020, Diddy revealed that he had adopted Ava Baron, and that Ava, who was allegedly 12 at the time of the video, wanted a black father. During an Instagram Live, Diddy even kissed Ava on the cheek after she said that she had been living on the streets. Diddy adopted her. A report by TMZ later revealed that Diddy never officially adopted Ava. Shockingly, Ava's face matched perfectly with pictures of a missing child who was lost around the same time that Diddy claimed to have adopted Ava.
Digging around and found some old photos that go back many years. She was with him when she was very, very young, so she is in fact his adopted daughter. Some are saying this woman in the background here is her mother, but nothing is confirmed. You can see she's been with him in interviews, hanging out with Diddy's daughters. She was seen everywhere with Diddy's daughter. Here's another one. And I mean, they go way back. And here's a few more. So it shows that, yes, indeed, they spent time together and they grew up together. This is, in fact, their sister and Diddy's adopted daughter. However, I found a video that is so suspect. I want you guys to check it out and tell me what you think.
This is my life.
I have a lot of cars now.
This is because I am a great father, but I'm sleeping with the girl. Tell me, who do y'all have a crush on? Tell Daddy the truth.
I don't know about you guys, but that video and the way Diddy's acting raises so many questions. So many are asking, where's Ava Baroni Combs now? This is the most recent photo I found. There's another one I'm going to show you, which is this one right here. But sisters and Diddy are nowhere to be found.
Diddy has a history of abuse, and now even his family has stopped showing up to see him. Both of Diddy's sons, Justin and Quincy, who he adopted when he was just 3, have now been mentioned in lawsuits along with their father. There is even video footage that shows Justin at Diddy's freak-off parties. In his lawsuit, ex-producer Lil Rod also claimed that Justin had been involved in the cover-up of an alleged drive-by shooting involving Diddy. Claims that Justin was involved in sourcing sex workers for Diddy are also present in the filing.
Anything on his demeanor, or anything on, from that we picked up from Diddy today?
Yeah, it was different than usual. He got into the courtroom with his pad of paper and his pen really intently ready to just take notes. And he looked back into the gallery where he usually sees a row of family members and friends, supporters of his. But when he turned around and looked in the gallery, none of his children were there today. And he visibly looked upset. Now, about 10 minutes into the hearing, his son Justin did come in and sit in the gallery. Diddy turned a second time, looked directly at him, kind of nodded, and acknowledged that his son was in the courtroom today. But you could really tell that it impacted him when he turned back and did not see any kind of friendly face, Connell.
Here's where some of the allegations against his son Justin Combs come in. So all this takes us back to February, when Rodney Jones, also known as the producer Lil Rod, filed civil suit against Diddy. In his lengthy lawsuit, Lil Rod straight name drops Justin Combs, describing him as someone who solicits prostitutes, underage girls, and workers. There's actually a picture of Justin Combs with an allegedly underage girl shown in the lawsuit. Now, in this specific instance, Lil Rod alleges at least one underage girl came to Diddy's home for a listening party. A sex worker was also apparently solicited, and a freak-off ensued. As an aside, this is the same night that Lil Rod alleges Diddy forced him to take a laced shot. He started to feel lightheaded and then woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, naked next to a sex worker. It's important to note Justin Combs is listed as a defendant on this case because, according to Lil Rod, he facilitated Diddy's alleged RICO enterprise and at times participated.
That I be wanting to know, like, why were you so infatuated with a child that wasn't yours? Were you grooming that little boy? I don't even want to start those conversations because that's not your child. You know what I'm saying? And for you to keep him that close, it's like you kept him that close because he might got your secrets because he's not your child. So if he's not your child and you that type of person with that type of character, you don't mind actually doing it to him when he finally reaches a certain age.
This alleged abuse is what eventually led both Christian and Justin to become abusers themselves. The cycle of abuse Diddy started is now being continued by his sons. Christian King Combs has been named as a defendant in a lawsuit recently filed by 26-year-old stewardess Grace Omar. Grace claims that Christian gripped her and sexually harassed her after drugging her with laced drinks at one of Diddy's yacht parties.
She was 25 years old at the time. She believed that the trip would be a, quote, wholesome family excursion, but says it, quote, turned into a hedonistic environment, even describing rampant drug use amongst sex workers and celebrities who came on board. She believes that the alcohol on the yacht had been laced with drugs because she says women would have one drink and then almost immediately pass out or start falling over. This is, by the way, something that it was also alleged in Jones's lawsuit, that Combs would spike the drinks of different people. But focusing on Christian Combs, Markey says that Christian Combs had been staying at a villa on the shore, but that he would come onto the yacht in the evening to party. And on December 28, 2022, Christian reportedly arrived very intoxicated and then proceeded to pressure Markey to take shots of tequila. She did. Christian allegedly tried to get her to drink more in the yacht's makeshift studio. Markey alleges that Christian kissed her neck, kissed her face, as he groped her legs, breasts, and private areas.
Diddy's children are complicit in the abuse he carried out. Justin is allegedly also involved in the cover-up of a drive-by shooting that occurred at a recording studio in Los Angeles. In his lawsuit, Lil Rod Jones alleges that the shooting happened inside the studio, where a man identified as G was found wounded and bleeding on the floor. Jones claims
arrived for his involvement in an alleged shooting cover-up. According to court documents, it happened on September 12, 2022, outside Diddy's Chalice Studios. Lil Rod says Diddy, his son Justin, and Justin's friend who went by G were all there when things got heated. Lil Rod says he heard multiple gunshots ring out and later found G on the bathroom floor in the fetal position. Lil Rod says he was bleeding out of his hip and leg area. Lil Rod says he was applying pressure to G's wounds and then asked the crowd to call an ambulance. At that point, both Diddy and Justin Combs disappeared to another part of the studio. Diddy then gave strict instructions to inform the police that he had nothing to do with the shooting. He also forced Mr. Jones to lie to the police by telling them that G was shot standing outside the studio by a drive-by assailant. So that specific allegation involves Diddy's son Justin, but another allegation and entirely separate civil lawsuit involves his other son Christian, or King Combs. Grace Omar K alleges that Christian Combs sexually assaulted her on a yacht in December 2022, and she says it was facilitated by Diddy.
To make matters worse, Diddy's kids are actively working to stop their mother's memoir from getting published. This memoir allegedly contains details of how Diddy ran his sex trafficking ring, one of Kim Porter's old friends, Courtney Burgess, has been Kim. Porter lawsuiting to publish Kim Porter's last memoir, but a lawsuit has been filed against him by Diddy's kids, these people aren't even loyal to their own mother.
Here is the other thing with Mr. Burgess. He apparently says he owns the rights to a book that was reportedly based on the alleged memoir of Kim Porter. In fact, according to TMZ, Burgess' phone was seized by the feds, and on it was a copy of a flash drive with material that was used in this book. Here's the problem. Christian and Quincy Combs, these are the sons of Diddy and Kim Porter. Quincy's actually adopted by Diddy. But they are reportedly fighting back, and they have sent Burgess a cease and desist letter to prevent the further sale of this book. They argue this is just an attempt to capitalize on Porter's fame and that they own the rights to her IP, her intellectual property, like her diary entries, her potential manuscript. As her heirs, they own it. And they also want an accounting of current sales of the book. To be clear, though, they aren't acknowledging that there is in fact a long-lost memoir from their mother. In fact, they've actually denied that before when there was a similar book, a derivative work, we'll talk about that, published by this guy named Chris Todd on Amazon. They were adamantly fighting against that. They said that their mother wouldn't write this. But what they're basically saying is if something should exist, they own it.
To make matters worse, Diddy's kids are actively working to stop their mother's memoir from getting published. This memoir allegedly contains details of how Diddy ran his sex trafficking ring, one of Kim Porter's old friends, Courtney Burgess, has been Kim. Porter lawsuiting to publish Kim Porter's last memoir, but a lawsuit has been filed against him by Diddy's kids. These people aren't even loyal to their own mother.
As an anxious teen, she is taken by her mother to bars so that men will notice them. She's 15 when she comes home one night and an older man they know is in the apartment with the key. She writes, it was rape and a devastating betrayal, revealed by the man's cruel question, how does it feel to be whored by your mother for $500?
Do you believe she sold you?
I think in my deep heart, no. I don't think it was a straightforward transaction, but she still did give him the access and put me in harm's way.
Everyone in the industry knew what Diddy was doing. It was common knowledge that children were present at Diddy's freak-off parties, and there is video evidence to prove all this. Celebrities were fully aware of the abuse that was happening at these parties. But they still went. Why? Because they just didn't care.
One person who was always anti-Diddy and was always speaking about Diddy as a problematic person was 50 Cent. And it turns out that it's just been announced that he's created a docu-series on Netflix. I can't wait to see this. The other end of that, every person who has tried to speak out about this, who has tried to speak out about the industry, the type of people that are controlling the industry, the attacks that people face from the media if they try to speak.
It's uncomfortable.
Diddy was actually interested in 50 Cent and wanted to take him out. He told 50 Cent that he wanted to take him out shopping, and 50 said no. Meek Mill, on the other hand, was super quick to say yes, because he knew the fame he could get by being associated with Diddy.
Close when he offered to take you shopping.
Yeah, you see, now Meek is in the same shirt. He's out there in the same shirt.
Holy
this is not Photoshop.
shit.
This is Stop it, man. You set that up. Look, obviously was not offended by what I was offended by. Guys may say to a girl, you know, like, let me take a shot. See?
Damn.
They found it that quick.
What do you think is happening in the middle?
I don't know what is going on.
Wow,
there. Because it was like, he was like, yo, you hot now. Now we got to hang out now. Like, you know, like hang out.
Yeah.
He said, I don't know, maybe I'll take you shopping and I get you some flash and you can give me the hood shit. And I was looking and I was like, let me just move away from him because I'm gonna mess up the way. Certain things they let it go by because it's Puff. He wasn't like in the closet, he was like in the hallway.
All these years, you being the only one calling this out.
I look like I've been the crazy guy for a long time.
They say you're a hater. They say you're crazy.
You do this, and now everybody's complaining. My ass is hurting.
The only reason 50 is speaking out while everyone else is quiet is because 50 doesn't have anything to hide, unlike all these other celebrities who are parting with Diddy. and regulars at his Freakoffs, 50 chose integrity noteways exposing everyone that was involved in this sex trafficking ring.
Little and you don't throw out allegations, but like you kind of poke fun at them.
You just ask questions.
You're not worried that it comes back your way? Like people dig up your past and try to pull stuff up?
I don't got that shit in my past. I'm not.
Everybody got a little bit.
Look,
like, not that it's real enough.
I took a pill, but it was for me to perform better. For her to remember, buddy. I didn't fucking give her a drink so she forget what the fuck happened. What the fuck is going on here, bro? Yes, I took the drug. I gave me the fucking drug to perform. So she could remember and possibly love me for that.
Did it work?
What the fuck? This is, yo, bro, look, I'm doing pretty good. Like, doing pretty good. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm just saying, this is the opposite of normal shit that we're talking about, bro.
That is why. I don't know why it's so hard for people
so
just
for
to
people to feel like
shit is
you
weird.
would have something or you would have reserved energy because you feel like you was doing it too, this is people that are looking on separation between their hardships or their
So was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day? Obviously, I know what's going on there, but is there a reason you never did?
I'm just not with all that freaky shit. Like all of the stuff that he's doing, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic or normal.
Netflix docuseries that you've been working on, Diddy Do It.
Right.
You've been saying for years that you feel you knew Diddy's character.
Right.
Yet you said you weren't a part of that lifestyle, you weren't going to the parties. So what makes you so absolutely sure that these kinds of allegations that we've seen against him are true?
Well, I'm surprised by the allegations, as surprised as everyone else is. Like, I didn't make the allegations, I didn't tell people to say these things. It comes out, I see it in the news like everyone else, but I did feel uncomfortable with the way you would present the idea of going to these projects.
To come party with me.
Yeah. And then that swayed me away from it, just that alone.
So you didn't realize the...
As much stuff has come, like, when I seen today, it was allegations of 3 men that said he drugged them, and it's a long time, to be honest with you. Like, when people don't remember being violated for 20 years, it makes me feel a little hard.
What are your thoughts on the allegations against Jay-Z?
That was interesting. When I was saying things not knowing exactly what I was saying, but I was going with, like, where's Jay at? He's mad quiet. Like while the Puffy thing was going on. But it's obvious now that his team was being made aware that he was in those allegations also. You know, so I hope it works out. It's kind of interesting. I think that civil suit turned into a look. They looked at it like maybe it's a criminal situation.
Right.
A little early, and it could have been the same lobbyists and the same people that use their connections to make that happen for Puff.
Is that kind of why you was going hard on him the last couple years? Is it because of the liquor situation? Because, to be honest, since the situation he's in now, it's kind of like you fell back on him. Was this all over the liquor, or you just said?
Well, most of that was motivation. That was competing,
right?
With brands, and they was ahead of me,
right?
Because he had been working on Ciroc and stuff like that, and then integrating it into our culture with Coco Loso and different things with different people, connected to it. So, yeah, that's what that was. But when you look at, he would do a lot of foul shit. Like, behind the scenes, he would do some foul shit. Like,
the people around Diddy starting to stand up against him. And just last week, it was confirmed that Cassie is going to be testifying in the upcoming trial. Cassie and Diddy were together for 11 years, and her testimony is going to be essentially, she suffered abuse and witnessed firsthand everything that Diddy was doing. Diddy's lawyers filed a motion to get the video of Diddy beating Cassie removed, saying that it's a 30-minute video and editing it to Macite is shorter, making it inadmissible as evidence.
Cassie, she plans to testify against Diddy at the trial, and she's going to use her name. So a lot of the women who have accused Diddy are anonymous. They're Jane Doe or Victim 1
or John Doe's.
Or John Doe's. But Cassie apparently is going to take this stand and talk about her abuser. Obviously, that tape of him beating her up at the hotel is what set off this whole thing. You know what I mean? Like, this has just made it matters so bad for Diddy. So now that she is gonna sit up there and like look him square in the eyes and talk about her side of the story, that's not great for Diddy, obviously.
No, and like when you have like a well-known public figure coming forward.
Trusted public figure.
Trusted.
And Caitlin, let's start with you. What happened, or what has happened in court today?
It was a pretty big day in court, Connell. We actually learned that Diddy was offered a plea deal in this case, which he rejected. Not really a surprise that when one was put on the table, he said no. He has vehemently maintained his innocence this entire time. I could not see a world where he would accept any kind of plea deal. So we heard that today. The other big takeaway from court, and we are in crunch time now, just less than 2 weeks before this is going to start and go to trial. The now infamous video of Diddy and Cassie in that hotel room where he is seen allegedly attacking her will be played in court for jurors. Now, the original video, the original surveillance doesn't exist anymore. So we have a copy that was obtained by CNN. So, obtained by CNN, yes. And it was taken by a cell phone video. So you're going to have the person who took the video testifying in court and independent people there that are going to authenticate it. But the jury is going to see that. The other types of evidence that they're going to see is going to be video of these alleged freak-offs, these sex.
Diddy's lawyers have also filed a motion to try to delay the trial. Just last week, his legal team requested a 2-month delay, saying that the recent superseding indictment introduced substantially new charges and evidence and that they need more time for adequate defense preparation. This motion was thankfully denied, and in just into short weeks, Diddy is going on trial.
Trial of music mogul Sean Diddy Combs, a judge has denied his request to delay the proceedings, and that means jury selection could start in just weeks. ABC's Phil Lipoff is tracking this case. Good morning, Phil.
Yeah, Gio, good morning. It looks like it's going to. Sean Combs' trial date is set to go on as expected Friday. A judge ruled Combs' criminal sex trafficking trial will begin next month as scheduled after he denied the defense's request for a 2-month adjournment. The trial is set to begin May 5th with jury selection. The judge said it was unclear why there isn't sufficient time to prepare, especially since 4 different law firms are now representing him. The judge agreed, however, to allow alleged victims to testify under pseudonyms, but one star witness, Diddy's ex, Cassie Ventura, is expected to testify under her own name. She filed, you'll remember, a quickly settled civil lawsuit against Combs. The judge agreed with a defense request to receive outtakes of interviews conducted for a documentary produced by Warner Brothers. Those interviews were conducted with potential trial witnesses. Combs appeared in Jailhouse Beige on Friday and was given a moment at the end of the hearing to communicate with his mother and one of his sons. He told them, "I love you and we're good." He has pleaded, we should mention, not guilty to all 5 federal counts and maintained his innocence.
Hollywood is an industry built on lies and deception. 50 explained that even the marriages that happen in Hollywood are business deals. Jay-Z and Beyonce married each other just so they could grow their careers and influence their marriage. Is a perfect representation of everything that is wrong with this industry and how it values money and fame over what's actually right or wrong. Jay-Z and Beyonce worked with Diddy and helped him cover up his crimes.
As we can tell, there's no expense being spared. We had a black billionaire's lunch. Yeah. You understand? Right. And we here together, and we're going to keep staying together. We getting tighter. You know what I'm saying? And united we stand, and ain't nothing else to us. Black excellence.
Look, when Jay signed his contract, the big one was with Beyonce. When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. Now those fucking trophies, trophies came rolling in, buddy. He started getting Grammys left and right, man. I mean, look, if you look at his career, this guy.
You're gonna let him say that? Jay was getting Grammys.
He had one.
Exactly.
He had one.
And he ain't show up.
No, he had like 20 now.
Oh, Lord.
He had like 18 since he been down. Look, he had one, bro. Hard Knock Life.
You're not wrong.
At the same time, he got them shits. He's like drinking. His pictures with him like fucking things the cup.
Where
Wait a minute. So you're saying the success is derived from the marriage?
I've absolutely been treated differently.
The accolades. Because he's no longer viewed as what, like a street or gangster rapper. Now he's viewed as a businessman, entrepreneur, family man.
And the biggest ones because of the position Beyonce's.
Oh, wow.
Jay-Z's career, you can look at that and say the association to Beyonce is when he started to receive the 16 17 Grammys since he's been with Beyonce. Right? And you go, prior to that, 1.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that came in association, like you see their kids even have Grammys. Like they don't sing yet. They don't sing.
Right.
They don't rap yet. And they already have Grammys and shit. So it's like they give them this trophy so we secure that they're coming to the award show. It meant that much to the culture that they just gave them the things that
50 Cent is pulling back the curtain, and the more he exposes, the uglier it gets as more victims come forward and Diddy's inner circle crumbles. If it's clear the days off protecting predators in Hollywood are numbered, stay tuned, because this is just the beginning. If you want the truth that Hollywood doesn't want you to hear, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We're just getting started.